Congratulations, David Zaslav.
Thank you, Maria.
Wow, this is the Journal calls it cable deal bets on comfort food TV. Comfort food, because you've got things like
home and garden, food, cooking, DIY,
all going with Discovery Network, which is obviously so global, and also.
Yeah, it's really not about just the channels, although they have some terrific channels. Great American Country also. It's about the IP. It's about the content that they own. Together in the U.S., in terms of our cable portfolio, ours, which is OWN and Discovery and TLC, Animal Planet, ID, will have 20% of the viewership on cable television,
That's
which
incredible.
is terrific. But what's more important is really the transition to this. There's 7 billion of these screens, and we as a company own all of our content on all platforms, and so does Scripps. And so we take all that content. We'll be producing 8,000 hours of content a year, a library of 300,000 hours, and being able to play with that content, put it into different languages as we do around the world, and try and get on to the transition. I mean, that's what's going on in media. That's why all media is down, is the question, who's going to have the IP to transition onto the phone and onto all devices?
Isn't it interesting that when the media and telecom worlds initially, back in the 90s, were beginning a massive consolidation phase, it was all about the content. And today, once again, it's the same. Content is king because the distribution has changed. Content becomes that much more valuable.
No question about it. And as you look across Europe, there's tremendous consolidation. The distributors now, it's going to be one distributor that will give you your broadband, your phone, your multi-channel, and your hard phone. And if you run into a kid in Walmart or on the street and you say, okay, who's your provider? They probably aren't going to even know, because it's almost like a pipe. And so more and more they need something to decommoditize that pipe. IP, content that makes them special. You know, that's why we did Eurosport in Europe. We've spent $6 or $8 billion on sports. And that's why we did Scripps, because these affinity groups, people that love food, that love cooking, that love home, country music, it's like super fans. And right now we're reaching them mostly on these cable channels around the world. But more and more, we're starting to reach them by taking that IP and the flexibility to take that IP, you know, right to the phone, onto devices, and on skinny bundles.
It's really powerful. I can check all those categories, Dagan. Food, sports, I mean, women, millennials, these are really important groups.
They're important groups, and to your point, I think that when the news broke of discussion of the deal, that I said, this way you can control the delivery of all of this content, that you're in charge of it. If your customer, if your viewer wants to just, I want to have an app and I'm willing to pay this much money a month and I can get everything that Discovery, now with Scripps, has to offer, then I'm willing to do that. And I can you control it, and I can circumvent the actual provider if I want to.
Well, that's a really important point. Today the ecosystem is B2B. So we provide our content to distributors, DirecTV, Comcast, Charter, you know, great companies that then put it together in a package for consumers in basic cable. And that ecosystem is still very healthy. It's in slight decline, but around the world it's still very healthy. Half of the money that we make as a company is from subscriber fees. But the transition over the next 5 to 10 years is going to be going direct to consumer, where, you know, now as you look at the quality brands in the U.S., with Oprah #1 for African Americans, Discovery the #1 channel for men, ID the #1 channel for women, you put together Animal Planet, and then all the amazing Scripps brands. You know, we have something that if you look at the 20 or 30 million broadband subscribers today in the U.S., they have that don't subscribe to cable. They have one choice, and they're making it. It's Netflix for $8. There needs to be a skinny bundle, and there will be a skinny bundle, so that someone can make the choice, as you say, and in going direct to consumer. We'll do it with other programmers. We'll do it with the existing distributors eventually. And it's starting to happen already a little bit. And I think this will give us a real lead in as the quality brands in the U.S., male, female, all demographics, and give us a real chance to have some impact here in the U.S. in that transition.
Incredible impact, really powerful combination. We have more on this coming up this morning.